Hi everyone, the topic that I'll be discussing today impacts many of us. It can be a very sneaky topic that can derail us from our budgets and our debt-free journeys if we are not careful, and that is spending triggers.
See, baby, I'm debt free. Me and my family aligned to live abundantly. Just take it from me. That's how we do it. Budgets of freedom.
Hi everyone, welcome back, or for those of you that are new here, welcome to Budgets of Freedom, where I discuss all things personal finance, whether that is cash stuffing, savings, budgeting, money management, just all around things related to financial freedom, all while documenting my debt-free journey with the goal to become 100% debt-free and live a life more on my terms, to quit my corporate job to be aligned more with my God-given purpose. If this is something that you're interested in, please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And I just want to jump right in today. Have you ever wondered why you're constantly overspending or find it hard to stick to a budget or just constantly in the cycle of bad money habits? Now, this can be a number of many reasons, but I want to focus on one topic today because chances are it could be your spending triggers that are to blame. My hope is by the end of this video, you will know how to identify your spending triggers and most importantly, how to overcome them. Let's just start off with what are spending triggers. These are emotional, environmental, and psychological factors that push us to spend money often impulsively. And honestly, it's on things that we do not really need. These triggers can sneak up on us and influence our behavior without us even realizing it if we aren't mindful and aware. For an example, feeling stressed out, so you treat yourself to an online shopping spree. We all know the term retail therapy. Or what about if you're scrolling on social media and you're constantly seeing influencers with the latest fashion or tech gadgets, or just walking into a store and being tempted by the limited sale? Yep, these are all spending triggers in action. So I want to break down the common types of spending triggers. Number one being emotional triggers. These happen when we are feeling stressed out, bored, or even excited. Emotional spending often looks like ordering takeout after a tough day or buying yourself a treat when you're celebrating. For me, after a hard day at work, I used to live by TJ Maxx, and these stores had me in a chokehold, whether it's TJ Maxx, Ross, At Home, Marshalls, Home Goods. I would just go in and spend. I even had a TJ Maxx credit card at one point, and I would just decompress by spending money in these stores, thinking that, oh, I'm getting a good deal because it's a discount store. But in all reality, I was not saving, I was just spending and getting myself further into debt. Number two, social triggers. Ever felt pressure to spend because a friend suggested going out or you saw influencers flaunting the latest trends online? That is a social trigger. Number three, environmental triggers. These are triggered by sales, advertisements, or even walking into your favorite store. Think about how stores strategically place items to tempt you. For an example, at Sephora, the grocery store, you will have the checkout line, or you have maybe travel size items. Even at the grocery store, the candies, the mints, all the last little things that they are going to try to catch you with on your way out the door. They just constantly want you to spend money. For me, I was a sales shopper. I don't know how I thought. I was somehow programmed to believe that I was saving money just because I was catching something on sale. But I was really not saving any money, right? I was just programmed in the cycle of hyper consumerism and constantly spending money. Number four is convenience triggers, right? These are the convenience purchases. These are those just because it's easy buys, like ordering takeout instead of cooking, or grabbing that snack at checkout instead of prepping your own snacks. Number five, guilt triggers. Ever felt guilty or even spent money just to make up for it, whether it's buying something for your kids or donating beyond your needs? Guilt can lead to unnecessary spending. Number six, mental and belief triggers. These are those things that I deserve. Oh, I'm on vacation, so I deserve to just splurge. Or I deserve to buy myself this new bag or new car because I maybe got a raise. Number seven, habitual triggers. Buying coffee or snacks on a daily. These purchases are made out of routine. So now I want to kind of break down how to identify your triggers. Identifying our triggers is the first step to overcoming them. Start by asking yourself these questions. What was I feeling the last time I made an impulsive purchase? Was I influenced by someone else? Did I buy it because it was on sale or looked appealing in the moment? Keep a spending journal. I would recommend for everyone to either have a journal or just write it on a piece of paper, writing your notes on your phone. I often use my notes section in my budget planner to write down different money journal prompts or even different lists. I will be writing down my own personal triggers in my notes section, but jot down your purchases and what was happening before you made them. You might be surprised of the patterns and behaviors that you are able to uncover. And I'm telling you, when you are on a debt free journey and wanting to cut back or just manage your finances better, it is a game changer if we know these triggers, because we are already aware and we can kind of navigate around them and break free from being held back and constantly spending due to our triggers. Now that you know what spending triggers are and you are able to identify your own habits and spending triggers, it is time to fight back. It's time to put together a plan on how we can overcome them. Here are a few things that we can start doing immediately. We can set a 24-hour rule to give ourselves a day or so to think about any non essential purchases. So if it's not groceries, gas, bills, we need to start making sure that we give ourselves some time and don't be impulsive about it. Unsubscribe from any temptation. Avoid emails, text messages, any type of notifications from stores that encourage impulsive buying. Also, we are going to start budgeting for these celebratory moments and treats. We're going to either create a sinking fund and add it to a category in our budget, or open up a savings account to start saving so we can splurge guilt free within limits. Now, I want to give you practical and solutions for each spending trigger that we discussed today. First is going to be the guilt trigger, right? Give yourself permission to say no. For guilt spending on kids, focus on quality time instead of material things and constantly trying to spend on them out of guilt. For donations, set a giving budget aside and stick to it. Giving should never feel like a financial distress. Next, let's talk about social influence, right? When you bought something just because your favorite influencer raved about it or because you saw your friends buying it, this is FOMO at its finest, and we are no longer feeling like we are missing out on anything because we have our financial goals set out and planned and written out and know exactly what we want to accomplish. So before you hit buy, remember that their lifestyle might not match with our budget. Everyone's situation and financial situation is different. So it might be a good time to unfollow accounts that tempt you to overspend or practice saying, that's okay, that's cool, I don't need it, and I'm not missing out on anything. I am leveling up financially, and that is my number one priority and focus for the year. For the mental and belief triggers, feeling like you deserve it, practice self care without spending. Maybe taking a bubble bath, having a staycation, read a book, watch your favorite show. Set up a small treat fund, like I already mentioned, in your budget to satisfy those urges within limits, right? If we are saving towards purchasing something, that is no longer an impulse buy because we are actively saving and it is included in our budget. For the habitual and routine spending triggers, right? 7 coffees throughout the week and those snack runs. Prep your coffee at home or make your snacks at home and bring them with you. Use the money saved in a fund or category. Plan to treat yourself once a week. If we are automatically upgrading or replacing gadgets without necessity, we need to take a step back and make sure our priorities are in line. We don't need the newest version of every Apple product that comes out. We just don't. There may be one or two features that we are missing out on. And honestly, we don't even use them, right? I know personally I don't. And for those environmental spending triggers, the sales events, the Black Fridays, the holiday discounts, create a specific shopping list and stick to it around the holiday times. Do not purchase anything outside of that list. Also, start creating a sinking fund or a savings fund now, because you know every single year the holidays are on the same day. So we can start preparing for them now. But we want to avoid browsing sales without a purpose, turn off notifications from retailers, be mindful of the layout and the displays in stores that are even getting us to constantly spend on our way out the door. We're going to make sure that we shop with the list and only bring enough cash to cover the planned purchases. Do not resort to spending on credit cards or using our debit cards. We can also use curbside or online grocery services to avoid in store temptations. Remember, we are unsubscribing from promotional emails or turning off our app notifications. You know what? Just delete the app and all. Let's just delete all those apps so we don't have to worry about on accident maybe receiving a promotion and something that we can't resist. Another thing that we can also do is install browser extensions to block shopping sites. For me, this is a low buy year for me, and this is the first year that I am doing it. It's only the third week or second week of January, and I'm doing well, but I'm going to make sure that I am checking in every month with my spending. I'm writing down any big purchases. I have my spending journal. And I would recommend that you do the same because we have some big goals to hit this year, financial goals, whether we are becoming debt free, saving for a large purchase, investing. There's a whole lot of different financial things that we can be focused on opposed to just spending because we can't control our triggers. And the last spending trigger that I want to address to overcome is the emotional spending trigger. Whether you are feeling stressed out, sad, or even celebrating, emotions can lead to overspending. Right, so we want to pause before we are making any purchases and ask yourself, am I buying this because I need it or because I feel a certain way? Replace emotional spending with healthier outlets like journaling, taking a walk, calling a friend, right? It could just be a day that we are feeling really stressed out or have anxiety. Replace the retail therapy, right, with a free low cost stress reliever like a walk, like I said, journaling, listening to music, binging a show. Use mindful techniques to pause and assess if spending will truly solve the issue. Even for boredom, we can create a list of hobbies or activities to engage in when we're bored. Reading, cooking, exercising. We can do a no spend challenge to occupy our time and make saving fun. We are learning to say no kindly but firmly, right? We want to make sure that we are confident in what we are doing, that we are in control of our spending triggers, because these triggers don't have to control our finances. By identifying and managing them, we can stay on track with our goals and feel more confident about our money situations. We are getting out of the cycle of constantly spending and spending and spending. And when 2026 comes around, we're going to look back and say, where did all my money go? I don't have anything to show for it. We're not doing that. We're not going to continue to repeat that cycle, okay? I hope this has helped you all out. If you found it valuable and useful, send it to some of your friends or loved ones that you feel may need it. But identifying our spending triggers are a game changer in our financial journey, whether it's a debt free journey or just getting back on track financially. We want to make sure that we are doing our part, right? We are constantly praying for financial things to come into fruition, but we are not doing our part. We're not taking the action and looking in the mirror and seeing what we can do different to get us out of this cycle. We're just asking God, placing all the responsibility on God, but we need to make sure that we're doing our part as well. I am going to be writing down my spending triggers and some solutions from what I discovered today. And this is just another way that you can use your budget planner notes if it is constantly empty. Make sure that you take up every page in your investment in a budget planner, right? So I'm going to write down my triggers and make sure that I revisit them often so I can remind myself and make sure that I am controlling my own spending triggers. Again, thank you so much for spending time with me. I appreciate it, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your evening.
Budgets of freedom. That's how we do. That's how we. Budgets of freedom. That's how we do. That's how we. Budget of freedom.